Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Saddest Night Out. My name is Roy, and I'm the host of this daily podcast, and it's primarily about music and creative culture in London. Hope you all had a good weekend. I hope you're all feeling good today, or at least not too worse for wear today. It's Monday, which means it's time for the Monday catch-up. This is a new thing I started last week, where on Mondays, I will just recap what happened the previous week, talk about what I have planned this week, and have a little talk about the stats for listeners of this podcast over the past 7 days. Last week was an interesting one. I, of course, turned 30. That was probably the headline event. We also had the hottest day of the year so far. I turned 30 on Wednesday. Hottest day of the year was Thursday. I had one of the most interesting podcast chats I've ever had on Sunday, and had a lot of people show interest in coming to my show tomorrow night. So, last week, my plans were to work on my online presence, prepare for the show, and of course record some episodes and host the open mic nights. By the way, if you aren't already aware, I host open mic nights, and if you go to ukopenmic.com, you can check some of those nights out. I didn't really do too much work online, although I did finally post about the show online, and I think to date maybe 150 odd people have seen what I posted on my Instagram at Saddest Night Out, all as one word. And I had quite a few people who, on Thursday in particular, quite a few people were at that open mic and expressed interest in coming to my show. So it could be a rather well-attended event. Time will tell, because you never know until the day, but so far it's looking pretty promising. What else happened last week? Well, I had a pretty interesting weekend at Caffrey Studios, helping Sydney out, building his stall and manning the ship at the rehearsal studio just in general. Didn't do as much work as I would have liked to do to prepare for the show, but I did get some really good work done yesterday, Sunday, before I went to the open mic, so I'm really excited about the show I'll be putting on, but I've still got a lot of work to do for it. Namely, creating the backing tracks for 2 of the songs, finishing the backing tracks for 1 of the songs, and then there are 3 songs which I've already got ready. So that's 1, 2, 3. I've got 6 songs that I plan to do, because it's about 25 minutes each that we have on stage. And I'm just very excited about the songs that I'll be playing. Some of these songs have never been heard by anyone before, so this will be their world premiere. And I am excited about the reception that they will get, and about how many people might be coming to this show. And I hope I can keep that momentum going for the show in August, and then September, and so on and so forth. So I've still got work to do on the show prep. I've still got work to do online. I've recorded quite a few episodes. What did I record last week? Let's have a little look-see, shall we? I know there was MC Reef, there was Cyber. So MC Reef and Oliver Anicha, the most recent episode I just put up, both, well, MC Reef is from New York. Oliver Anicha came to London from New York, but he's from Australia. And another person I've been talking to, Charlie, who hopefully I'll get on the podcast as well, left for New York. I think she's leaving today for work as well. New York just keeps, it's like it's following me. I think New York is just obsessed with me. Someday I will go to visit. Maybe before I'm 31, time will tell. But this week I put up Oliver Anicha, Jimmy and the Toms, Warren Meneely, and Seven Seers were all on one day on Friday. Seven Seers and Warren Meneely were both before my open mic at the King's Head, and Jimmy and the Toms were afterwards. All great conversations. Warren gave me what I think is the best story to date on how someone came to London. Episode 183, I highly recommend you check that out. Seven Seers is really good at producing their music. Just last night at the Plough, I have this playlist of songs that I play at the open mics in between performers. And some of the songs that I play are by performers at our open mics, because some of our performers have got music on Spotify, including Mr. Romeo Crow, who is the person who started up UK Open Mic and has been on this podcast many a moon ago. And hopefully I'll get him back on the podcast in the near future. And Seven Seers' song came on, the name of which suddenly escapes me. I'll have to look it up, but basically check out Seven Seers on Spotify, because their music sounds really, really good. So I spoke to Oliver Anicha, Jimmy and the Toms, Warren Meneely, Seven Seers, MC Reef, Cyber, Burn the Ladder, and Ant. All of them were last week. Really good chats. It was great to talk to Burn the Ladder and Ant, who are fellow hosts of the open mics and also musicians in their own right. I feel as though Burn the Ladder and Ant, or rather George and Ant, could work together, and I feel as though they feel the same way. At least that's what they expressed during that conversation. I feel as though Warren and Seven Seers, aka Theo, should talk to each other because I think they might have similar tastes in music as well. Jimmy and the Toms were a very pleasant surprise. I literally met them and had them on the podcast within the same day, which I haven't done for a while. Actually, no, I did that earlier last week with MC Reef. That was also the same day that I met him and then got him on the podcast. Oliver Anisha, I met him on Thursday, then got him on the podcast on Sunday. Yeah, a lot of new friends, a lot of new members of the Saddest Night Out family. Some new friends made last week. A good time. As for this week, as I said, I've got a show tomorrow if you haven't already heard me mention it about 1,000 times on this podcast. At Road Trip and the Workshop tomorrow night, doors open at 7:30. It's free entry. I'm hoping the attendance might be more than the last show, which was June the 25th. But we will see, and then I hope the attendance will be even larger August 20th, which is the next show, and then September 17th, which is the next show after that. Very exciting stuff. Open mics as usual, and in fact this week I think is the first week. I'm about to sneeze, so apologies. Pardon me, keeping it very professional here on the Saddest Night Out podcast. This week is the first week I think ever that I have got my calendar filled with people I want to talk to for future episodes. So I'm hopefully talking to some of the people at my show tomorrow, MC Purple on Wednesday, Moon and Shah Nicole on Thursday, and Cairo Mia and Rico So Raw on Friday. So watch this space. Hopefully those conversations will come to fruition, but I've at least got them down in my diary, in my Google Calendar, so that's pretty exciting. I want to keep that momentum going, and next week and the week after and so on have my days filled with people that I want to talk to. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. As for the stats for this week, let's turn to the numbers, starting with SoundCloud. This week I have had 62 plays. Last week I had 38, this week 62. So progress has occurred. Saturday I had 10 plays of my episode with Harry Quinn at the Courtyard, episode 79. I have no idea why that episode in particular got a bit of a bump, but hey, congrats to Harry Quinn for that. So he was my most played track last week with 10 plays. Next it was episode 118, Living Island, Worst Place and Tugboat Captain. That got 6 plays, and then Burn the Ladder and Ant got 4 plays, episode 178. That's according to SoundCloud. My top listeners were Verbatim, Alexia Burnside, and Macdi Safdarian. Macdi Safdarian won. Top countries: United Kingdom with 19 plays, the US with 9 plays, and Indonesia with 3. Beckton in the UK had 6, Exeter had 5, and Jakarta in Indonesia had 3. Hello to all of those people who were listening. Thank you very much for doing so. And I hope you enjoy the episodes from this coming week as well. Over to Podbean for their stats. So, last week, I don't know how many plays I had in total, but this week, I had 145 plays. Just yesterday, I had 10 plays, which is pretty cool. Most of them come from the UK, then the United States, Germany, France, and Greece, which I guess is thanks to Theo and Seven Seers, because I do believe Theo was originally from Greece. So thank you to any of Theo's fans who listened to his episode. Hopefully you're still listening to the other episodes as well. It's lovely to have you join us. And the moment you're all waiting for, the top 10 episodes from the past week. And we've had some changes in the charts. So in at number 10, it's at episode 177, The Strokes, A Personal History, with 13 downloads. New at number 9, episode 184, Jimmy and the Toms at the King's Head, with 13 downloads. Number 8 is episode 175, Lou Talks Midnight Rotations and More at the Nelsons, with 16 downloads. New at number 7, episode 178, Burn the Ladder and Ant at Banbao Brothers with 16 downloads. New at number 10986. New at number 6, episode 179, turning 30, 16 downloads. Number 5 is episode 170, headlined in London and Other Thoughts, 20 downloads. Number 4, it's episode 173, Lorraine discusses her debut EP Drift Away at King's Head, 20 downloads. Number 3, episode 174, Ben Beckentoy at the Nag's Head, 23 downloads. Number 2, episode 171, Pete Ritchie at the Nelsons, 24 downloads. And still at number 1, episode 172, Cement Ship, Adam Wedd and Laura Jane Meads at The Plough. So, some newcomers to the podcast. It's nice to know some of my newer episodes made it into the top 10. In fact, that's something I forgot to mention. My episode about the Strokes. My dad, in one of our many phone calls, told me he quite enjoyed that episode, so much so that he went and listened to the Strokes just to see what all the fuss is about. Unfortunately, I don't think I converted him into a fan, but it was nice to see that he took such an interest in my interest that he thought he would check it out for himself. I wonder if there's anyone else out there who has had a similar experience. He was very surprised that of all the things I showed an interest in as a kid, the Strokes are the thing that stuck, and he said when he listens to my music, it sounds exactly like the Strokes, which I take as a compliment, so thanks, Dad. And hey, maybe the next one of those episodes I do, I might convert you into a believer. I am hoping to do episodes like that for Daft Punk, The Strokes, Block Party, Phoenix, Interpol, The National, LCD Sound System, about Gilmore Girls, about the OC, just about a whole bunch of stuff that has had quite the impact on me, including the book Meet Me in the Bathroom by Lizzie Goodman, which I think I mention every other episode, and I will continue to do so. Also, happy birthday to Kim Taylor-Bennett, the KTB, who has been a reporter and a presenter on many different platforms, also features in the book Meet Me in the Bathroom, and, perhaps most notably for me, posted that she was at an Interpol show, and they were playing Specialist, and I replied saying, oh, and I think I asked, are they playing Specialist? And she said they're playing it now. And I said, oh, I'd love to see it. So she started an Instagram live just so I could see them playing Specialist, which was very cool of her to do. We've never met. I'm essentially a complete stranger on the internet, but that was a very kind gesture. I think I posted about it on my Instagram at some point. So happy birthday to you. Happy belated birthday to you, Kim. A fellow Leo. Also, I think Daniel Radcliffe from Harry Potter, his birthday is one day before mine. And I think J-Lo has her birthday the same day as mine. And Amy Winehouse passed away the day before my birthday. So I can't remember how many years it's been since she passed away. But that's something that always comes up around the time of my birthday as well. So an interesting week. Thank you all for sticking around. Hopefully this week will keep that same energy. And I will catch you on the next episode of this here podcast. Thank you all for listening. Till next time, take care.